Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. This is going to be a guide on how to use greenhouses in Farming Simulator 25. We're going to go over quite a bit of stuff in here. This is going to be for all platforms, so whether you play on console or you play on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, whatever it may be, this will cover that. This is also only using base game stuff, so this is just how it works in the base game. If there's mods and stuff you have installed, that may adjust it or change it, and I'm not going to go over modded greenhouses. However, they will likely be very similar or apply to this as well. I do talk a little fast, so if you need to, you can slow me down below in the YouTube slider controls there. You can go ahead and set me to like half speed or whatever you want. And also, if you're looking for a specific topic, I do have time codes down below so you can skip ahead. So if you're just wondering about, how to move pallets around or how to sell stuff from the greenhouses, all of that is down below in the YouTube slider bar. And the specific topics we're going to cover, which will be the ones that are spread out down below, is placing greenhouses, using greenhouses, the products that are made from greenhouses, pallet moving, and profitability. Also, as part of that, we will talk about what to do with the products, selling them and stuff like that. That's part of the profitability and the pallet moving and the products made section under that. So let's go ahead and start off by placing greenhouses. Now, I already have some placed here, and I have a ton of different productions on this map. This is my test map here. But if we go into the build mode here, and we go down to the production chain here, we need to scroll over from, you start out in factories, scroll to selling points, then greenhouses. We have quite a few actually in the base game. There's basically 3 different types of greenhouses, and I'll talk about that. So first one here, we have the rice saplings greenhouse, which is to grow rice saplings. I have one of those placed right here. It's to grow rice saplings for planting your wet rice. You can do that if you'd like to do that, or you can actually sell these guys off, and I'll talk about that as well. And then we have regular greenhouses, is what I'll call them. So this one makes rice saplings. The regular greenhouses will make chili peppers, spring onions, lettuce, Napa cabbage, strawberry, garlic, and tomatoes. And you have 2 styles of the regular ones. So you have these guys here, which are kind of the tarped ones here. So you see small, medium, and large. And all those do is increase your production rate. And then we have the more expensive ones, but they are the glass greenhouses. The only reason they're more expensive is because they're nicer. So if you want a nicer one on your farm, you can add this up. But the small glass greenhouse is identical to this greenhouse here. So we have small, medium, and again identical to this medium one. Large, again identical to this large one here. And then finally we have the small, medium, and large mushroom greenhouses. So if you want to make enoki mushrooms or oyster mushrooms, you're going to want to place one of these guys down. So all you have to do is find a spot for it, and then you can just click to place. Now be careful. It's kind of hard to tell, what I found a lot of times, to tell where the pallets are going to spawn on it. So you want to know that for sure. So if you look at the mushroom greenhouses here, wherever the water point is, so the water point's right on the front, you can see that icon right there. The left side of that, if you're looking at it, to the left side to the water point is going to be where the pallets are going to spawn. So you can see water point there, pallet spawn point. Water point there, left side, pallet spawn point. Same thing here. Water, left side, pallet spawn point. Let's flip back around here. For the other greenhouses, all of them are going to be water point is going to be right next to, in the same side as the pallet spawn point. So whatever side the water point's on, whatever side the water point's on, you can tell that is going to be, that side of it is going to be where the pallets are going to spawn, since it's kind of hard to see. So all you have to do is place them down. I would recommend flattening out the area first. It'll make it easier for you when you're placing them down. But now that we have them placed down, let's talk about how to use them. So each different greenhouse has a production menu, and there are 2 ways to get into it. So one, you can go to the greenhouse themselves. You'll see this little wrench icon, come over it, and then up in the upper left-hand corner, I'll have my controls there. That's the help menu there. If you're on console, your controls will be different, but everything will still work the same. If you want to open your help menu on console, go into settings, general settings, and make sure this right here is turned to on. That's your help window. So that's how you can get that. PC, you can toggle it on and off with F1. But here, if I hit R, it's going to take me directly to this production menu right here. And we'll talk about this a little bit more later, but what we need to see is incoming and outgoing materials. We can see all we need for greenhouses is water. That's every single greenhouse we have is just going to take water. And the reason I recommend entering the production menu this way is if you have a lot of productions, that's the easiest way, because it's going to take you directly to this one production right here. You can also, if I just hop out here, you can also hit escape, go into the main menu, and then normally you'll be in the maps, and then you can scroll all the way down here to the productions. It'll show you all of your own productions versus all the available productions that are placed out on the map somewhere for you to buy. So there you go. But we're at the owned ones. Now, if you want to buy one, I don't think there's any greenhouses anywhere that you can buy. But if you wanted to buy one, you just have to go to whatever production it is, go up to the wrench icon, and then allow you to buy that building. So there might be, on whatever map you're on, there might be the ability to buy productions and do that sort of thing. And also, I should actually show you how to sell this off if you decide you don't want it. So I bought it for $150,000. If I go into build mode, I can click on it and then hit sell. I can sell it for only half the price that I paid for it, and it is sold off now. And now I can go back later if I wanted to, and I can rebuy it. So just be aware of that. I'm going to get over to our Where is my... There we go. There's our water truck here. Okay, so I'm actually going to start him up. Electric. The only reason I'm using the electric one is because, well, it works, it's easy to drive, and it's silent, so you don't hear it over my tutorial. But yes, in the production menu, if we go back over here, you'd have to then scroll down and find where your greenhouse is, which I'm gonna... There it is. That's the greenhouse that we're at right now, but you'd have to find it in here. If you have a lot of productions, it's probably easier just to go up to the specific production and hit R to enter the production menu. So water. We need to be able to put water into this first, and I'm going to explain everything else in here, don't get me wrong, but let's get some water in. So these are the water points right here. If you need to know how to transfer water around, I will put a card up on your screen right now to a video that shows you how to get water and how to move water around. But I have water already in this tank right here ready to go for me, and it says I can dump it in now. So if I just come up to it and hit I can unload and I can put some water in there, which is great. That one actually didn't take very much. And then same thing for all the other greenhouses. If I come up here to this one, I can hit I to unload. Perfect, easy peasy. I can hit I over here to unload into this one. You know, it's pretty easy, straightforward. I into this one. They're all going to be the same. And if I drive over here to the mushroom greenhouses, I can do the same thing. I do have a couple of water points placed down here, but I talk about those more in my water video. So yeah, if I come up to, well, let's just pull up to this mushroom greenhouse right here, hit I, and I can unload more water in there. So it's pretty easy to put water in, and water is the only thing that is required to get these guys running. So their inputs are pretty easy to do. But yeah, okay. So now that we've talked about getting water in there, let's talk about using these productions. So if I go into, I'm actually not going to talk about it on the rice sapling one. I'm going to go into one that has more production options here, just to make it a little bit easier to show different things off. But they all work the exact same way. So get into the production menu, and now we need to start doing stuff. So I'm going to click over here to this side. I need to click over to where the products are. Just click on any one of the products. And then, well, there's a few things we can do here. So first off, now that we have the inputs correctly, we can hit activate down here. So if I wanted to activate this, I can activate every single one, or as many or few of them as I would like to. I can activate all or none of them. Now, if you activate more of them, it does divide the production out, and I'll talk about that later on in the profitability section. But yeah, that's how you activate them. Then if you want to deactivate them, same thing. I just click on them, turn them off. You'll see they're not highlighted if they're off. So if I just have 3 of them on for this one, that's fine, or I can turn them all on, and that's all fine and dandy. Now, if we move over to this menu here, up at the top, it has our incoming materials and our outgoing materials. You can scroll down, so you might be missing something at the bottom. Just scroll down a little bit and you'll see it. So we have water. It shows us how much water we have and what the max capacity is. So this greenhouse can hold up to 10,000 liters of water. And then it shows all of our outgoing products and how many we have, which we have 0 liters of each of them. And then it shows how much their max capacity that it can hold, which is 7,000 liters. And then it has 0% over here because there's 0%, 12%. That's 12% of the water that can be in there. So you can look at it as a percentage as well. Now, let's say we talk about chili peppers here. If we scroll down here, we have status, which is running. If I turn it to deactivated, it'll say, say inactive. And then if it runs out of water, it'll say materials missing. So if I go to, well, one of these doesn't have water. Here we go. If I go ahead and I activate this, it'll be running for a second. And then here, let me actually hop out. There he goes. Materials missing. I'll say it's because I'm in slow mode here. And you'll see a little icon. That's the trouble icon there. So I'll just deactivate that. Let's go back up to where we were at, which was... Oh, lordy. I don't know where we're at here. Where's the one that had the... Let's just go back out in there. That'll jump us up to the right one. You can see why it can be confusing to try to find your production. And then we have cycles per month and cost per month. So if you're running this production, it's going to cost you $2 per month, okay? And that means if you're set to 2 days per month, it's going to cost you $1 a day. If you're set to 1 day per month, $2. If you're set to 10-day months or whatever it may be, then that's going to be divided out by however many days are in your month. The cycles per month is also divided by how many days in your month. So this is not cycles per every time you sleep or every time you go to a new day, unless you have it set to 1 day month. So just be aware of that. Now, what does this number mean? There's a recipe down here. So this cycles per month means that this recipe is going to happen 528 times per month as long as the input materials are there and available. So that's what that means. Now you can see here's our recipe: 3 water to 2 chili peppers. This is 3 liters of water. That's the units for everything's in liters. So 3 of these liters of water will make 2 liters of chili peppers. And that's how the recipe works. Very straightforward. Now the last thing I want to talk about in this menu is the output mode. So if I click over here, I can hit change output mode. I have storing, I have selling, I have distributing. So if I'm on storing, the chili peppers or whatever the product is going to keep building up in here until there's enough for a pallet to spawn. Then it'll drop back down to 0 because it's going to spawn a pallet. The pallets are going to spawn outside in the pallet spawn points, which are these guys right here. Now, once this is full of pallets, they'll just keep building up in here until it's full. So they'll keep building up in here until this capacity is full if there's no room for more pallets. It'll spawn all of the pallets out there as well. Just be aware of that. So that's how that's going to work. I can activate that again as well. And then if we go to selling, it's automatically it's not going to spawn any pallets. It's automatically going to sell off the products that you have in here. However, it's going to take a cut of it. Usually it takes between 20 and 40%. I haven't done a specific test in Farming Simulator 25 yet to find out what that exact percentage is. And it could vary between difficulty levels. So if you're on hard, it'll likely be a higher percentage, and on easy, it'll likely be less of a percentage. I'm running this game on normal economy right now. So that's how that's going to work for you. And then if I change it to change it to distributing is going to take these products and find another factory on the map that requires them as an input, and it's going to transfer them there for free. That's the easiest way to do it. It doesn't take any of them from you. It just transfers them there. It's free. It's easy to do. That works really well. Now, if you have it set to distributing and there's nowhere for them to go, it'll simply build up the capacity in here and it won't spawn any pallets. And at any time, you can change it to storing to spawn all those pallets out, or selling to sell them off. So that's all the things inside the menu here that are going to work for you. So that is how the cycles work. Now, if we have the products that we're talking about made from greenhouses, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little break in here, and we're going to fast forward some time and get some products to spawn out here so we can show off some of the different pallets and the products that are made by the greenhouses. All right, it's been almost 24 hours, and you can see here we have a pallet of the rice saplings, 24 pieces down there. Now, that 24 pieces means quote-unquote 24 liters when it talks about sell prices and the actual production, so just be aware of that. And what I mean by that is if we go up here to this here, it says 3 liters of water to 1 liter of rice sapling. That is, it doesn't take very much water, but each one of those is a liter, and so 24 liters spawns one of those pallets. So it's a little strange how they have that set up, but that is what it is, so just be aware of that. Now let's go take a look at our glass greenhouse and tarp greenhouse over here and take a look at these guys. So here we have ourselves a lovely pallet of garlic. We have a pallet of chili peppers. We have a pallet of lettuce right there. And then up over here, we have a pallet of, I'm assuming, yep, Napa cabbage, spring onion there. We have tomatoes here and strawberries here, which is great. And then lastly, we come over here to our mushroom greenhouses. We'll see our couple pallets of mushrooms out here. And if you guys are wondering how to sell those off, I have a separate video that talks about that in its entirety. It gives you a little bit more detail on that. And I'll put a card up on the screen right now for that so you guys can check it out. We have oyster mushroom right here, and we have enoki right here. But if you're going to sell these off, just the basic look at it is come into the price menu, find one of your products, and then go sell it off. So chili peppers, these are the places that will buy it from you. So you can sell it at the canning factory, the farmer's market. You can sell it via the train to Goldcrest Valley or sell it to the restaurant. And that's the price they're going to pay per 1,000 liters. So just be aware of that. Now, we have to talk about moving these pallets around. If you're on PC, you can use super strength. That's what I usually use to move pallets around and make my life a little bit easier. But the real way is using pallet forks and things like that. So I'm going to put a quick cut in here. You're going to see a video I pre-recorded that shows off how to move stuff with a pallet, or talks about it at least. So if you want to skip that, you can go ahead and skip that, but that's going to go ahead and play for you now. To be able to move pallets around in-game, you have to be able to use a pallet fork of some kind on one of these various pieces of equipment, which I'll show you how to do that. Obviously, you can enable super strength if there's a mod out there for that, or if you're on PC and you enable the console commands, then you should be able to activate that. That won't work for console, though. If you do want to learn how to do that on PC, I do have a link to a video down below in the description that will help you enable console commands for your PC game. That way you can just enable super strength. But if you are without super strength or on console, let's talk about the different ways to do this. So first off, we have a tractor with a front loader attachment. We have a front loader. We have a telehandler, a wheel loader, a skid steer, and a forklift. Now, if you're lifting like very large items or like a lot of forestry stuff, like some of the forestry pallets, like in terms of like wood beams and stuff like that, you may want you may want a wheel loader to do it. Otherwise, a wheel loader might be a little overkill for you, but you can find all these in the store. So I'll show you this. You can also check on your farm if you, let's say, well, for example here, one of the starting tractors is this guy on a lot of the maps. So if you go into here, this guy does have the ability to add a front loader attachment. If you see this in the store, you can hit yes, it'll put it in there. Then you want to confirm your customizations down below if you're customizing it at the shop. Otherwise, you can just go in and you can check anyone and you'll see if they have a front loader attachment or not. This one should. There you go, front loader attachment. Make sure you say yes to that. You can either do quickie, hour, or no for those as well. Now, whatever design you decide to go with there, go back out of here, go down to front loaders here, and then pick the correct one. And then you'll see down here there's a horsepower requirement. Whatever horsepower your tractor is, try to get the one closest to your horsepower. You don't want to have this massive one here if it's not going to work for your tractor. You also can go in here, and if I hit... oh, it's not going to be on there. Darn it. sometimes they'll show up with customizations below to be able to add a front loader. This one actually will do it here because this one has a specific one, but sometimes you'll see that and you can just do that. So if that's available, that's the easiest way to find out what one is designed to go with that. Now, if you're going to buy a front loader, telehandler, wheel loader, or skid steer loader, there's a specific process for that. First, go in here. You can either go in here to look at the dedicated front loaders, dedicated skid steers, dedicated wheel loaders, and then, or excuse me, dedicated telehandlers, dedicated skid steers are down here. And then you need to go to their appropriate category. So for a front loader, you need to go to front loader tools, telehandler, telehandler tools, wheel loader to wheel loader tools, skid steer to skid steer tools. Then go in that respective category, find the pallet fork and purchase that. And then you can hook it up to the front of your vehicle. So let's say I bought this guy right here and I bought all these different parts separately. Let me just show you how to disconnect them real quick. So if I hit Q, that'll disconnect that. And then I can also disconnect this. So if you didn't want to, if you want to use it as a regular tractor, you can also disconnect it. But to connect it, just do it in reverse, line it up, get here, and then you'll see a command down at the bottom to connect, and then just drive up here, and then you can connect here. Now, how to operate these up in the upper left-hand corner, usually it's mouse controls if you're on PC. It'll be different controls for you if you are on console. But you can see the advanced controls up there in the upper left-hand corner. If I hold down right mouse button, it shows me what those controls are. Left mouse button shows me what those controls are. So that'll be how you can do your controls. Now, finally, if you wanted to buy a forklift, forklifts are also very easy to buy. They're a dedicated unit for this. So if you go in here, just go under forklifts and choose whichever one you would like to buy there. So there you go. That's how you move pallets around on all platforms. All right, now that you know hopefully how to move pallets around and that sort of stuff, let's go ahead and look into the profitability of this. So if I hop out of here, I'm going to go ahead and show a spreadsheet for you guys. So I made a productions kind of spreadsheet, and I only have the greenhouses, and then I did BGAs because that'll probably be the next video I record. But I'm going to slowly add stuff in here. I might make it look prettier and stuff like that. This is linked down below in the description if you guys want to use this. So production sheet, the way it works, if we take a look here, we'll just use the rice saplings as an example. So I have the production building, so the rice sapling greenhouse. Then I have the product they're making. And then I have the input item, which is just water. And then cycles, that's how many cycles per month it does. The input amount takes 3 liters of water, or 3 water, for the output of 1 rice sapling. This is the input cost, and this is the output value. This is all to normal economy mode, and it's usually just like an average price for it. So it could change a little bit. Profit per cycle, profit per month. So that's how much profit you're making per cycle. So 48 times that equals the profit per month. And that's how much water it takes per month and how many pallets it's going to, or how many liters it's going to produce a month. So that's how these all are working. Small greenhouse, you have all the various ones for the small greenhouse listed out, then medium, and then large. So again, the greenhouses, these are for both the tarp and the glass one. They're all the same. So you can see the profitability. So if you look down here, I mean, a pretty profitable one is actually down here. The enoki mushrooms are pretty profitable, especially compared to the oyster mushrooms. So those might be a really good one to do and sell. And now down here at the bottom, if you don't like how this is set up, I also am charging you for water. So if you buy water, it's usually, if you're going to use values, $180 per 1,000 liters on on normal economy mode. So that's the price I'm using. Now, if you wanted to recalculate this, if you're getting water for free, you just have to enter 0 there, and it will apply to this. So you can see all of these values have gone up, and the input cost is now 0 for them all. So you can adjust this price sheet. If you download this to your computer, you can go ahead and make some edits to it. And then again, I have the prices for selling prices for all the different stuff. So let's say you're like, well, I normally get, maybe on a different economy mode, you're like, I normally get $1,500 for tomatoes. If you apply that change in here, it will apply out here, and you can see that if we find tomatoes on here, tomatoes are now a little bit more money. So that's $27.87 there. But if we go back here and we go, oh gosh, what was that? 900? Was that what it said before, I think? If we go to 900 there, and then we go back in here, you can see that's lowered itself down. And then production, now the last thing I want to talk about is this in here. So this is the production points, and then are they divided or not? I haven't tested BGAs yet. So rice, if it says NA, that means there's only one output. There's only one production chain. So rice saplings only produce rice sapling pallets, so they can't be divided. Divided means if I take, let's say, for example, one of these productions takes in, or has a bunch of different recipes. It makes, for the mushroom greenhouse, for example, it takes in water, and it has 2 lines of production, oyster mushrooms and enoki mushrooms. If you have one of those on, the cycles per month and all of that and what it produces, and that's the other thing in here it shows you as well, is how much you're going to get per month of it, as I mentioned. So small greenhouse, let's go down here and just talk about the small greenhouse. So if it is running just enoki mushrooms, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get 1,000 liters of enoki mushrooms every month. However, if you have both enoki and oyster mushrooms turned on, it's going to divide each of these by 2 because you're sharing that production. That's what divided means. Just like if you have, well, how many productions are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you have all 7 of these on, it's going to divide all these by 7. If you have 3 on, divided by 3, and so on and so forth. So that's what the divided production means there. But yeah, so hopefully that is helpful for you guys. That is my guide to greenhouses. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on the screen to join the Farmer Cop channel. Turn your notification bell so you don't make any, or you don't miss any future videos that I may post. This has been Farmer Cop. Thank you guys for coming and watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.